Happy Thursday. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. Let me get you ready for what will be a busy Friday, especially into the overnight hours and into our early Saturday. What to expect for the early part of the day? Well, just a few scattered showers, much like what we saw this afternoon. So plenty of moisture hanging on in the clouds, and some of that will come down by way of a couple sprinkles and a couple of isolated downpours. As we head into the evening, that's when things start to get much more interesting and potentially have a severe component associated with them. So once we gaze our eyes to our far northern and western counties at 10 o'clock, we see a line starting to drop in. Now, this line of storms could pack a punch, so some quick downpours, especially we'll be watching for some wind impacts. Gusts of up to 50 miles an hour could be possible with this, and as it continues its progression, we'll feel those impacts coming down for the city center. So right past the midnight hour, we could see that strong line of storms coming in through this area, and there is even a potential for an isolated tornado threat, and that's going to be mainly north of I-10. As we continue into the early portion of our Saturday, so 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we'll see that line of storms pushing towards the coast and some residual moisture building back behind it. That all looks to clear away by the time sunrise goes on for the start of our weekend, and then you'll notice we'll have some lingering clouds out there, and by the time we're enjoying our Saturday afternoon, a lot of that cloud cover completely drops off and we dry out. Here's another closer look at the timing of this front. So 9-10 o'clock time frame, that's when the front starts to push into our far northern and western counties. By midnight, we'll see that line of storms headed to Houston, and then by 2-3 o'clock in the morning, that line pushes off the island, and then we'll just see a few scattered showers by 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, gearing up for a beautiful rest of the weekend. Rain potential has been holding steady at around an inch, so most spots looking to get just about that or a little bit less. A couple of localized areas could see a quick downpour. Those spots in purple there, we could see some rain totals push up to about 2 inches, and that's why the severe threat when it comes to street flooding has diminished. Now we'll be watching for that damaging wind threat. That's going to be the heightened area of risk that we have all across the area, and then again north of I-10, a possible spin up is not out of the question, but most of the severe activity will be focused to the north of us along the I-35 corridor, Dallas-Fort Worth area, and even northeast of Austin. But you'll notice a couple of our counties are in that 3 on the 1 to 5 scale for the severe threat. So that includes part of Montgomery, part of Walker, Grimes, even Waller and Washington counties too. San Jacinto and Polk could be included in that. So during the late evening on Friday, we'll be watching for the potential of some stronger storms that cause a little bit of a rotation. And the reason for that, with this front, we see 2 combative air masses, very different in nature. One packs cooler air and drier air. The other one packs warm and humid air. If you step outside right now, you'll notice that humidity, and you'll notice it's quite muggy and on the more tropical side. And because these 2 air masses clash right as this front moves in, that's when we see the severe weather threat. So we'll see the push of wind with the front, and that's going to bring the energy of the storm to come barreling through here, and then the fuel source that we've been building over the last couple of days brings us the chance for some stronger storms. Bottom line, warm and humid as well as breezy, much like we were this afternoon for tomorrow afternoon. As we head into the evening, that's when we start to see the front pushing in, and things will become more organized and more conducive to see a line of stronger, maybe even severe storms. The main threat being wind and potentially an isolated tornado. But things clear out just in time for Game 6 of the World Series. So by Saturday afternoon, we'll be in the mid-70s, so about a 10-degree drop with that front moving in. Sunday looks absolutely beautiful too, still in the 70s, but barely. We'll be climbing into the low 80s by the end of that 7-day forecast.